What is up, guys? TRayALLDay back for another episode of my Olympique Lyon career mode. This is episode 13. Both Leeds United and this one will be on episode 13 after this episode is done. Trying to keep them more on the same page, just post like one or the other every other day. Because I really like doing this career mode a lot, but it seems a lot of people enjoy the Leeds United career mode a lot, so it wouldn't be fair to only post one of them, so I'm going to post both every other day. And we take on Bordeaux in the Coupe de Ligue. It's the semi-final, and we have basically our whole starting lineup in for this one, minus Johan Gorkoop, because he was a little bit tired, so I put Sylvain Marveau at the central attacking midfielder position. And as you can see, we will take on Marseille in the final if we're able to win this one. And I'd love to play in the Coupe de Ligue final, especially against the rival, because of course, this season in real life, Lyon did lose to PSG in the final. Very, very unlucky in that game, in my opinion. But in the 20th minute, Brizuela makes a great tackle. He passes forward to Sylvain Marveau. He picks out Memphis Depay, making his debut along with Ron-Robert Zieler. Depay pushes forward, but Sané is able to take it out of play and for a throw-in. We are in the attacking half, however, so it's going to be very dangerous for them to stop. As Depay sees Grenier, throws it into Grenier. Grenier sees Lacazette. Lacazette pushes to the left, cuts back inside, pushes forward, sees some space, takes the shot, and sadly goes just wide. I could not believe he did not make a better effort to put that on target. But we'll look at the replay right here, just see just how close this was to going in. Barely misses. Beats the keeper, but beats the post. Another replay here, barely wide. It would have been a great goal. But in the 37th minute now, Marveau on the ball from a great pass, goes along the right wing, sees someone in the middle, crosses in. MENEZ tries a little bit of flair. That would have been a sick goal if MENEZ was able to pull that off. If you didn't see that, just rewind and check it out again, because that would have been so sick. It was almost a back heel. He kind of just flicked it around one side of his foot. But anyway, we're still on in this unedited clip as Memphis Depay's getting forward. He sees Lacazette. Lacazette tucks it under the keeper. We're up 1-0. I believe that is one of Lacazette's first goals since coming back from injury. He was out for like the first 4 months of the season, and he's going to celebrate handsomely there with a nice dive. And we are up 1-0. Hopefully we can come out with a result, because I'd love to play in the Clash of the Olympics once again, because that was a great game the first time. And just look at this right here, tucks it under him, tucks it over him actually, and it was a great goal nonetheless. But we're starting from kickoff now as Depay pushes forward. I don't know what the hell that was, but he cuts back inside, sees Sylvain Marveau. Marveau running to the right wing, still on the ball, I can't believe it. And he tries to cross in, but it goes out for a corner in our favor, and Grenier will step up to take it. I was playing kind of defensively in this game. Lacazette's there, and Gonalon's ultimately, his head ultimately led to it, but it went straight to the keeper. But in the 56th minute now, our top scorer, Isaac Brizuela, pushing forward. He chips it forward to Jeremy MENEZ. MENEZ takes a shot, and he gets deflected, but he's there, puts it in the back of the net. He's now on 6 goals total, and through the season, he's really the only one challenging Brizuela for that top scorer spot, really. But it was a great effort to come back onto the ball after getting upset there. But in the 61st minute now, Maurice Belay passes back to Orban. Orban passes right back up to Maurice Belay, finds Henri Saivet. Henri Saivet with a great turn, passes forward to Maurice Belay. He'll cross in. Diabate's there, and he cannot quite get his head to that, but Grigory Srtic is there, has an opening, slots it into the back of the net. We are still up 2-1, but it was a great goal nonetheless for them. And Srtic, of course, we tried to go in for at the start of the series, but we could not get him. He was just too expensive. But look at this goal right here. It's a very nice one indeed from Srtic, and our players just could not get in front in time. But that was their last chance of the game, so I figured I might as well not show my opportunities if, you know, that game ended up ending 2-1 to Bordeaux. So we will take on Marseille in the Coupe de Ligue final. I don't know when the final is, but I do know it's coming up nonetheless. And we get $600,000 from the board, which is fantastic because, of course, Gonalons has been complaining about his wage, so it could be nice to have a little bit more money on hand. As you can see, Steedma Bronk is leaving to Stade Rennais at the end of the season, which is ironic because we played them in the next game. And also, you can see Petroipa is being coveted by Bayer Leverkusen, so also ironic because we play them in the next game. Maybe they won't have one of their best players in to play us, but we went in for Gondolons. This part's all fast-forwarded, and I went in for 5,000 less than what he wanted, just to see if he would accept that. And if you look at the bottom right, you see Arda Turan went to Chelsea for 16 million. Said, no, you can get him for 45 million, which is... I mean, really, I could have used Arda Turan and possibly used him instead of Memphis Depay, but nope. They decided to be douchebags and sell him to Chelsea of all teams for $16 million instead of a team that could use him a lot more than Chelsea could. No offense to Chelsea, but you're stacked with talent. We are not. But looking at the youth monthly squad report, you can see Dion looks pretty sick so far. With 84 to 94 potential. Gonna wait till May 1st, see if he turns 16 by then, and then sign him. And IR, he's dying down a bit. His potential was the same as the Dion's, but it looks like it dropped just a little bit. It's still pretty good. It's better than Michael Umtiti's, who's only 63 to 75, which is not that great, but nevertheless, we are going to sign him just because he's related to Samuel Umtiti. And we take on Stade Rennais now. You can see Gorkuf in his kit. He'll be in for this game, as well as Russell Tabor, Capetzi, and others. Mostly kind of the same lineup, but we do still sit in 12th in the league, so I'd like to get at least a draw out of this one so we can keep pushing forward. And Brizuela is still our top scorer with 7, and we'll take on Nantes in the next game. If you could not read that graphic on the left, I'm just kind of announcing it, but nevertheless, we are ready for this one. And it's going to be a very interesting game because Rennais are pretty good in real life and in this game with Ola Toivonen and Petroipa, of course, who I just mentioned. But nevertheless, we are starting from kickoff as Memphis Depay pushes forward from Yassine Benzia, who's also in this game, forgot to mention. Depay pushing forward now on the right wing, passes over to Ocampos, but it goes out of play for a throw-in for Rennais. And Mabenge passes in, but Benzia gets in the way, cuts inside, right around the defense, tucks it home. In just the 4th minute, we are up 1-0 to Stade Rennais. And after he scored that one, I'm like, this is going to be a great game. I was really looking forward to the rest of it. I thought maybe I could put in another 2 or 3 goals and possibly go ahead 4-0 and win the game and make the board a lot more happier than they have been lately, but... sorry, in the 19th minute now, Toivonen on the ball, passes forward to Conradson, and he's going to cross it in. Alessandrini's there. What a volley into the back of the net. We are already tied in just the 20th minute, just 16 minutes later, and it was a great goal from Alessandrini. I believe after the next game, he's on like 11 goals for the season, so... and he's like 3rd overall in the league, so that's pretty sweet for him. But Ocampos now on the ball, cuts inside, takes a shot, and Costa makes a great save, and Gorkuf's shot just goes right off the defense and out of play and away from their goal. But in the 38th minute now, Muniain on the ball, passes outside of the Canadian Russell Tabor. He chips it forward to Iker Muniain. Once again, a nice Berba spin inside, has an opening, takes a shot, and goes just wide once again. Very, very disappointed with that effort. He should have put that a lot more on target. But in the 43rd minute now, Alessandrini on the ball, pushing forward, takes a shot, goes just wide. Very, very lucky for us because Alessandrini is in great form, the announcers said. And Conradson now on the ball in the 67th minute, passes to Gigliotti. Gigliotti could cross in now, but he cuts back outside, cuts back in, great turn, takes a shot, and Ron Robert Zieler is forced to make a great save, 2 great saves really, and clears it away. But we're in the 81st minute now. Gigliotti has a chance, another great save from Zieler. He's already paying off. He's already been a lot better than Anthony Lopez has. I guarantee you we would have lost this game if we had Anthony Lopez in at goal. But we have a chance here in the 87th minute. Gorkuf crosses to Tabor, and he could not quite get that on target, and Benzia kind of whiffed on the second attempt to get that into the back of the net. And either way, it went out for a corner. Kone steps up to take it. I'm changing that. I'm not letting him take it. And Gorkuf will. And we have about 4 people in the box, so maybe we could get a head on it. Kabul's there, gets his head on it, sadly goes off the crossbar, and they were able to clear it only as far as Umtiti. Umtiti cuts back inside, but Alessandrini is able to take it away, saves the point for them, and we end up drawing in a game that was pretty intense. Could have gone either way. Both teams were, striving for that second goal to go ahead, but a very, very justified result. The result gave justice to how the match was played out, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what the hell that just happened, but we take on Nantes now, home of American winger slash midfielder Alejandro Bedoya, who will most likely be in the World Cup this year. In just about a month away now, which is fantastic. Can't wait for that. But this is the lineup we're going with. 3-4-3 formation. Basically our starting lineup, except for Fofana sitting at the back and Kone at the back as well. I tried to change my tactics, but I ultimately just decided to go with the same one. I had a major headache going into this game because of how BS decisions were going against me and how my team was just sitting back in defense. I literally had a headache from it, but we do take on Nantes now in the league at Nantes, so it's going to be a pretty intense game. I can't remember the result of the last time we played them. I believe it was a draw, if I'm not mistaken, but you can see we take on Evian in the next game, in the next episode, which I'm not looking forward to, because if you remember my episode titled Effing Evian, you would know why I hate them so much, but just check that out if you haven't already. And we still sit 12th in the league, so maybe this game could propel us in front, because of course I haven't looked at the league table in like episodes, but I've looked at it like behind the scenes and whatnot, and we do sit pretty we have a chance to go ahead here as Lacazette takes a shot, but Ryu's able to get to it first. But what I was saying was the people in front of us, due to our Europa League play, have played more games and they're around the same point, so we could jump a few teams and go higher, which is why I think I haven't been fired yet, to speak my truth. But that cross almost went to the back of the net. Just thought I'd show that there. But they have a corner now in the 25th minute as Brizuela clears it only as far as Sangare, but Menez is able to take it away. No, he cannot. Nicolita on the ball now on the right wing, cuts around Grenier, crosses over to Bedoya, and the Americans able to score. I didn't really mind since it was him. If it would have been anyone else, I would have been really pissed off, but Bedoya scores nonetheless. And from a free kick, Djordjevic with a great effort. Zielers having none of that. Sends it forward to Memphis Depay. It's a 1-on-3 break. What can the Dutch player do? Gets it taken away from Sangare. As Rose is on the ball now. Passes over to Gigi. Gigi on the ball now. That is a great name. Memphis takes it away. Memphis Depay. Grenier chips it over to Depay, or Depay. I don't know how it's pronounced, actually. And he tries to take a shot, but Toure is able to clear it away. Only as far as Umtiti. I'm surprised the ref hasn't blown his whistle yet as Gueda Fofana pushes forward. He sees a run. It's Memphis Depay. Memphis Depay with a nice Berba spin. Cuts inside. Takes a shot. That's his first goal in a Lyon shirt. We are tied 1-1. As halftime draws near. That's a great momentum boost for us. Not so good for them, but I'm very happy with that goal from Memphis Depay. And the Berba spin was really nice. Like right when he touched the ball, he just did that Berba spin, completely faked out the defense of Nantes, and we were able to get the goal. But we're in the 58th minute now. Menez passes over to Isaac Brizuela. He sees a run. It's from Memphis Depay once again, pushing forward. He's been playing great since joining us. Crosses in. Menez is there. Oh my gosh, what a goal from Jeremy Menez. And he is now joint top scorer with Isaac Brizuela, as you can see on the left graphic there. And I didn't mean to do the show respect celebration, but I guess you could say he's saying like, oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm not even going to celebrate. That was too sick of a goal to even celebrate. Looking at the replays here, I actually show all the replays they show this time. Look at that. Barely got his foot to that before the defender gets his head to it. Look at it. Almost kicked him in the face. And that was a great goal from Jeremy Menez. I could not believe he scored that. And barely goes into the back of the net. We take the lead after being down 1-0. That I could not believe. And showing the respects like, whoa, okay, I'm not even going to celebrate. And we're in the 64th minute now. Isdale passes to Alejandro Bedoya, chips it over to Nicolita, and his volley goes wide. It would have been a great goal if he was able to get that on target. Anyway, that would have been a great chance. But Depay once again in the 70th minute does a nice Berba spin, crosses inside. Lacazette's there, takes a touch, tries the volley, but apparently it touched someone's hand. And the karma's been good for us in this career mode series so far, as Isaac Brizuela steps up to take this one. It won't be Brizuela because he is not a great penalty shooter, penalty taker. What the hell is that? But as you can see, 43 penalties. Best one we have is Grenier or MENEZ, so I decided to give it to MENEZ. I want him to be top scorer. Brizuela's been up there for way too long. I'm sorry, Brizuela, as MENEZ takes this one easily back the net. He has 8 goals in all competitions. You can see them there in his Lyon shirt in real life, which is photoshopped clearly. And he now has 8 goals in all competitions, leading the way. He'll play the violin for the Nantes fans because you were up 1-0. And sadly, you're now down 3-1. Yeah, I don't think you're coming back in this game, especially with that handball. The penalty and it's just clearly not on your side. But a great save once again from Ron-Robert Zieler. Our new signings are working out so well. Zieler's been great in at goal, and Depay has been fantastic. A goal and an assist in this game, and basically another assist if you can count the penalty because his cross led to the handball. So we'll call it 1 goal and 1.5 assists, but we were still able to come on top and beat Nantes 3-1. That's going to help our push up the table. And as you can see, Gonalons is still declining his contract offers because he says the club can't afford to renew it, which is true because I didn't have any on the budget side. I had it all on the remaining wage budget, as you can see on the top right. And so I just went to 100,000 and crucial first team player. I went to change it, and oh my gosh, look at that. United States offered me an offer. I kind of just threw down my controller because you never really get the team you want, and like you just never do, as Gonalons declines once again, and we accept that straight away. I'm going to coach them over Uruguay and whatnot. Of course, most people probably wouldn't do that in real life, but this is my home country. I'm gonna coach them, try to bring them all the way back to, not back to the top, to the top. They suck. Looking at the squad report now, pretty interesting, I have to say. Like, some people who haven't played a lot have gone up, and people that should be going up, like Umtiti, hasn't gone up at all, but he's showing great potential, which makes no sense. But Fofana's gone up too, which is great. I think he's going to be a great holding midfielder for us. Brizuela's already hit his peak potential from FIFA. Of course, that's a minimum, but he's already hit it in his first season. Tabor hasn't gone up at all. That it makes sense because, you know, he hasn't really played that much. Grenier, look at those stats. Fantastic. I need to start playing him at cam more instead of CDM. I love playing him at CDM, but definitely need his passing ability up front. And Depay already scored 2 goals in his games, in his few games that he's played for us so far. It's Lacazette, you can see, gone up 2, and he hasn't played that many games for us. MENEZ hasn't gone up at all either, and he's our leading goal scorer in 27 games, so I don't know, I don't understand their logic there with Lacazette going up 2, and MENEZ not going up at all. Kabil's gone up 1, he's 28 years old, so that's probably the last time we're going to see him go up, but I'll take it, I'll take it. He's a great center back nonetheless. Marvo hasn't gone up at all, unsurprisingly. He's been in bad form ever since he joined us. I haven't thought he's been that bad, but apparently the game thinks he's been awful. And Ocampos hasn't played for us a lot recently. He'll probably play a few league games when we get close to the Coupe de Ligue final and Europa League, because of course I haven't mentioned this before, but our next Europa League match is against Real Sociedad, who of course they played this year. Sociedad ended up winning, and they went into Group A along with Manchester United, Shakhtar, and Leverkusen. And I don't even think they got 1 point out of any of those matches, so it should be interesting to see the rematch. Love to see Griezmann back to his hometown club, and he of course was a huge fan of Lyonnais when he was a kid. He said that he always go there when he was a kid and whatnot. As we look at Ferry, he's gone up 2. He's going to be great. He's only 21 years old. CD Kone's gone up 3. He hasn't played, yeah, he's only played 2 games. Gorgolin's gone up 4. He hasn't played at all. Lopez hasn't gone up any. He's on loan. Don't really care. Vercout's gone down 1. Not surprising at all. Malbronk's gone up 2. Not surprising at all. Have fun with him, Renee. And Playa, who, of course, I did think about signing him in my Leeds United career. I'm probably going to sign him in year 2. He's been great so far. As you can see, my Elgato cut out again, which is, I don't know why it does that, but the only other player worth noting is Rashid Gezel, who has gone up like 2 or 3. He's up at like 73 overall, so we could use him. I could possibly recall him, but really I don't need to right now. Maybe if fitness starts to get really low, I can bring him back, but he's been pretty good so far out on loan, so it'd be nice to bring him back next season. But this will be the end of the episode, guys, so please leave a like if you enjoyed. It really helps my channel grow. Share this with your friends if you can. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.